Well, we went and tried a place yesterday. Wasn't no good. And by the time we got back to one of our other places, the gobbler had done got to where he didn't want to play. He gave us one courtesy gobble. So today, I run out and grabbed another place that I gained permission to last week. The guy said he seen 20 turkeys there, I think Wednesday. Still no good. So it is 6:31 on Sunday, the 24th, I think. And I'm headed to another farm where a buddy of mine that I grew up with in high school says he's got plenty. So let's see if we can get that done. We run out of time in Alabama. I need one more turkey. I'll check back in a minute. Turkey tracks everywhere. He's gobbling. My old high school buddy hit me up. We got a field bird out here. Now we just got to get to him. Alright, we in. We closed in the gap. I don't get to experience these field birds much. We got a problem. She looks deep in my boots.
There's a log. Alright, we'll cross. He's still in the same spot. Man, this is a mess. We still got a lot of ground to cover too. This stuff's thick, y'all. Hope y'all can hear it, because he is right out there. I can just make it down here to this bend. He's still gobbling. He ain't seen me yet. Make a move on. We worry about the geese.
Well, there it is, the last Alabama bird for 2022. I got another clip from my cell phone whenever I was headed after this bird. I went to Lacey Springs. A guy came in work, said he'd been seeing a bunch of birds on his place, so I went down there this morning, and as a contingency plan, a buddy of mine that I went to high school with, I think I just heard one gobble. He was the best man in my wedding, and he'd been telling me that he'd been seeing some field birds down at his place. So I texted him. I said, if this farm don't pan out that I'm going to, I said, I'm going to text you and we're going to ride around and see if we can't find us a field bird. He said, all right, go ahead, come on. So the farm didn't pan out. I stayed till about 6:30 and I texted him and I said, hey, I can be there in 30. He said, all right, I'm going to go get a biscuit. You want one? I said, no, I'm good. So I met him at his house and we was going. He said, you want mountain bird or field bird? I said, I don't care. I said, I just want a bird. And he said, all right. He said, let's check his field and then we'll go to the mountains. Well, we checked one big field. There wasn't no bird there. And he said, let's go down here to this gap. He said, let you call, see if there's one in the next field over. And so I went down to the gap and I got out, walked up to call, and the bird hammered on its own. And I came back to the Jeep, told him, yeah, there's one down there in the field. I snuck out to the edge of the field, glassed it, and it was about 400 or 500 yards away, strutting on the far end of the field. And I had to walk down a creek bank and another field to get down closer to him. Then I was going to have to cross a creek, and he told me that if I didn't cross at the shooting house, I'd be wading waist deep water. So I crossed at the shooting house, and I still had a lot of thick to go. Got as far as I could, and then I couldn't go any farther where I had to be out in the field. He was all the way over on the other side of the field. So I decided that I was just going to yelp and see what happened. If he stayed over there and strutted, I was just going to accept it, and I was going to climb off in the creek and just wade waist deep creek water till I got all the way around to him, and then I was going to just try to snipe him out of the field. Well, there was another field behind me, and there wasn't nothing between the two fields but the creek, and it was basically just a 20-30 yard wide SMZ. I cast a few yelps like that right there over my right shoulder. Now, in hindsight, he was that direction from me. I should have cast over my left shoulder, because as he come across the field, he was cutting toward where my yelps went. And he cut the distance to, I don't know, probably about 50. And he was steadily angling the other way, so I just went ahead and shot him. And because there was a gap, I didn't know at the time, but there was a gap down at that end of the field where he could just pitch across the creek. And there's GoPro footage walking to him, down, trying to get to him down the creek. And then in the creek, there's GoPro footage. But something happened with the GoPro. It had plenty of battery, but when I cut it off to save battery as I was making a move, it never would come back on. This camera was in the truck because I figured it was going to be not a setup situation. And so I don't really have anything other than some footage going down the creek trying to get to it. But there he is in all of his glory. He's got a monster of a beard. It's probably close to 12 if it's not. He's got a real good spur on him. He's got a fine colored fan. Got a lot of green and tan. Oh, better hang on to that. I'll need to put that back somewhere. Got a fine spur on him. It's probably a little over an inch. But that is my Alabama 4th bird. Shot him all to bits. Pattern's pretty wide at that distance. I may go to Tennessee. I may not. I'm unsure at the moment. I'm just proud to have got to hunt them as long as I did. Alright, I'll try to upload this in a little while. Watch it if you want to. And I got a little bit of commentary going to it, but that's about all I got. Thanks for watching.